Hi guys, I wanted to share something that has been probably the most inspirational and helpful point of view around MS. And it came through a friend of mine, through a very dear friend of mine. Just a couple days after I got out of the hospital of my initial diagnosis, I had been there for about a week, and I got out, and she called me up one day and she said, okay, I talked to this Eastern medicine doctor, and he, she said, this is my friend. She's very healthy. She's been a meditation guide. She's been vegan. She's been doing yoga all the time. And, so what's up? Like, why does she have MS? Like, what is it? And what is it from the Eastern medicine point of view? And he said, well, MS is a disease of exhaustion. And nothing could have rung more true because I've constantly exhausted myself throughout my life. And it also seems like it is informing me about how I need to take my next steps and how I need to approach this. Because I think it would be super easy for me to try to fight it and say, I'm not going to let it keep me down. I'm going to show everyone that I'm just as strong. But that doesn't seem that it would be the best for my health when I was so exhausted, especially right out of the hospital, so exhausted and so tired. And so to think of it right away as a disease of exhaustion, I thought, oh, okay. So what that probably means is I've run myself ragged all of my life, which I have, and the healing that needs to take place to counteract all of that. Maybe I can't, quote, cure myself of MS, at least that's what the conventional doctors tell me, but let the way that I treat my body in this healing sense from here on out for the rest of my life, let it be rooted in this understanding that if this is a disease of exhaustion, I'm not going to try to plow through it and further exhaust myself in a vain attempt to prove to everyone that I'm just as good. No, that's bullshit. That's acting out of fear, out of saying to someone that I need to somehow prove my worth or my value. So I didn't want to do that. What I did now, having this kernel of information that I think was transformative, I started to say, okay, well, let me double down on my rest. Let me rest when I need to. If I'm tired, let's not try to plow through it. Let's give in to it and then see, do I come back stronger as a result of giving into the initial rest? Do I completely revolutionize my sleep schedule? Yes, I did. To understand that our hormones flow at certain times and to sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is a prescribed sleep cycle due to the certain hormones that happen between 10 p.m. and midnight and how important those are, and then what happens between midnight and 6 a.m. and what you're getting at those points. I had never thought about that, and I had no problem staying up late and waking up early and not caring about sleep. So for the first time, I thought, well, it's my job right now to figure this out. And so I revolutionized my sleep cycle, and I had the ability to stay with my parents while I was healing and then start to work from their house and work from home. And I didn't go back to Manhattan to live. I wanted to really focus on the ability to rest. And, living with your parents has pros and cons, but one of the pros is being able to, sort of be a part of a family that, they are the biggest supporters of sleeping as much as possible, because I think they grew up with a daughter who didn't used to sleep a lot. And, they wanted me to do whatever it was that was going to sort of make me better, make me better with MS. And so if sleep could be a part of it, they're very supportive of that. So that is to say, I had a supportive environment, and I realized there are other people with much more demanding lives, like children, that really put a kink in the old sleep schedule, from what I've heard. So it's harder than it may sound, but I encourage anyone to start to view MS through the lens of a disease of exhaustion, and to then see what is that bringing up in their mind or your soul. Like, how would you approach this diagnosis differently if it is somehow tied to the overexhaustion of oneself? Would we start to not exhaust ourselves so much? Would we start to look for, ways to bring something more nourishing into our days in whatever way that looks like? I know that with work schedules, some of that can't be changed, and life schedules and family schedules. But even the mindset of, let me plow through this and show how strong I am. I started to look at like, well, that's what I've done my whole entire life. And now I'm diagnosed with MS. What if I switch it and say, let me nourish myself. Let me take care of myself. Let me do things that feel so uncomfortable. Resting when I have a deadline, when I have things due, when I need to turn out work. But knowing that maybe if I take a short rest, then I come back so much stronger instead of just like petering out for the next 4 hours. Maybe there's a 30-minute rest that then peps me up and I can like really get stuff done. I mean, this is more than just a Eastern medicine view of MS. I think this is looking at efficiency hacks and effectiveness hacks and, lifestyle hacks that really like help us start to put a different view on the way we're spending our time and energy. The people that we spend our time with, are they giving us energy? Are they, are they making us feel more alive, or are they draining our energy? All of these things became extremely important to me because I made a commitment to myself to do whatever I could to not have another flare up, to take care of my health at all costs, or to at least get to a point where in the future, no matter what my health situation looks like, I can turn around and think, well, I did everything that I could in my life. I lived in a way, with the knowledge I had at the time, I did the best that I could at the time. And I lived in a way that was positive for me and made with positive choices and informed choices. And so I think we all have that opportunity. And I encourage people to share with me, like, what has your attitude been? How have you approached MS? I've heard of people, we run the gamut. And of course, we're movers and shakers. And I'm never going to be one that just sits it all out. I do call it a night a little bit earlier than I used to in a lot of situations. But, those were hours and hours and hours and hours and hours late at night that like weren't actually yielding anything beneficial. So now it's me time. I'm building in me time every night in my sleep schedule, or really choosing the work that I take on and choosing, how much is this going to exhaust me? Maybe I don't have the choice whether or not I can take a project, but maybe I'm at least real with myself about what it's going to take and how I should prepare for it. Because if I'm preparing for the exhaustion, well, then maybe I'm still taking care of myself in some respect. So please tell me how you have approached the exhausting disease of MS and any lifestyle hacks that you've found. I know even my physical therapists were very helpful in saying like, hey, you don't have to like put up every pot that you use every day. Leave it on the stove. You don't need to keep going up and down and putting things up and around, moving things around unnecessarily. Some of these things can just be out if they help you and if they save energy. So tell me what your energy saving hacks are and your approach, and if the disease of exhaustion makes sense to you. Everyone that I've shared it with has been like, oh my gosh, sounds right. So please tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.